Hello students, welcome to Academia. Today our topic is esophagus. In our previous discussions in digestive system, we have gone through the structure of mouth where we found tongue, teeth and salivary glands. The next one was the pharynx, and then comes the food pipe, or which is called esophagus. So first of all, what is the definition of esophagus, or what is esophagus? So esophagus is a narrow muscular tube which extends from pharynx up to the stomach. So in between pharynx and stomach, the food carries through the esophagus. That's why the esophagus is also called the food pipe. Its length is of 25 centimeter, that is 10 inches. The width is only 2 centimeter and the lumen is flattened antero-posteriorly. Normally it's kept closed, that is collapsed, and opens only during the passage of the food. That means when you swallow the food and it goes through the esophagus, then only it dilates, otherwise it remain normally closed. Next, it lies in the median plane in the thorax, in front of the vertebral column, behind the trachea. Trachea, which is also called the windpipe. The upper and lower end of esophagus both are closed by the sphincters. So sphincters are present in the upper part and the lower part of the esophagus. The esophagus is split into three parts: cervical part, thoracic part and abdominal part. Generally, the throat region and the chest region and the abdominal region, in the three regions the esophagus is present. So accordingly they are divided in parts. So there are number 1, so these are the distributions: cervical part, thoracic part and abdominal part. And we see here that the thoracic part is a long portion which is 20 centimeter in length. So if we see the diagram of esophagus, so this portion is pharynx, and then the three parts of esophagus. First is the cervical part, then the longer one is the thoracic part, and next the abdominal part. So we can divide it, and as a whole it is 25 centimeter as a whole. It is 25 centimeter long. So this one is the cervical part, this one is the thoracic part, and this one is the abdominal part. This portion is called pharyngoesophageal junction. And these are the muscular sling which are formed. These are the muscular slings which are formed by the right course of the diaphragm, and that portion is the cardiac orifice of stomach. This one is the cardiac orifice of stomach. So these portion is the part of stomach. This is the part of stomach which we can see. So in the diagram next, we can easily understand the view of the esophagus. When we see the musculature portion, the esophagus consists of striated muscle, smooth muscle, and in between the mixture of both muscles. So in the upper third of the esophagus having voluntary muscle, in the lower third there are involuntary muscle. So now the difference between voluntary muscle and involuntary muscle. Generally, the voluntary muscles are those muscles which we can control according to our wish. So the upper third of the esophagus, there are voluntary muscles are present, and the involuntary or smooth muscles are present in the lower third, and in between both muscles are present. In case of sphincters, there are two sphincters present in the esophagus. One is upper esophageal sphincter and another is the lower esophageal sphincter. The function of sphincter is to prevent the entry of air and the reflux of gastric component respectively. So they regulate the entry of the air and other contents. In the microscopic structure of esophagus, there are 4 layers present, and from inside outwards the layers are number 1 mucosa, number 2 submucosa, number 3 muscularis externa, and number 4 is the fibrous membrane or adventitia. In the mucosa layer, there are epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosa. The epithelium of esophagus having stratified squamous epithelium, which is very important, and comparing with the other epithelium of the GIT, which are single layered, but esophagus having the stratified squamous epithelium. Then the submucosa and muscular layer, the outer fibrous membrane, which is also called adventitia, having dense connective tissue, which also contain many fibers, elastic fibers. The next diagram showing the 4 layers of esophagus. In case of esophagus, the fibrous membrane is present, not the serosa like the other parts of GI tract. Now the functions of esophagus. The main function is to transport the ingested material from pharynx to the stomach. Next, peristalsis. So, primary as well as secondary. Both peristalsis. Primary peristalsis is triggered by the swallowing center in the brain stem, and the contraction wave travels at speed of 2 cm per second. What is peristalsis? Peristalsis is the gradual contraction relaxation process of the smooth muscles of our gastrointestinal tract. The secondary peristalsis induced by esophageal distension from retained bolus reflexed material. Its role to clear the esophagus from the retained bolus. So, if the food bolus is present in the tract, then there is a continuous contraction relaxation process. The contraction relaxation process occur, and they helps in the propagation of the food bolus toward the stomach, then intestine. So, peristalsis is the rhythmical process which helps in the propagation of the food bolus. So, these are the functions of esophagus.